What up, what up, what up, YouTube? What's up, Mackids and Maniacs? Today, I just want to tell you guys, Two Pretty Kenny will be sitting in for me next week, so y'all get some Two Pretty Kenny stories. But for now, I know you guys love fight stories. You guys always ask about hand guards, top 5 fighters from 60s, top 5 fighters that you know, the best fights you've seen. Well, check this out. One guy that I never heard mentioned, so this would be a unique situation, unique name, unique story, a youngster, and his name is Baby Duke. Here's the homie Big Duke, Lil Duke, rest in peace in 1998, and then Baby Duke, rest in peace in 2007. Baby Duke, rest in peace. Now, I'm gonna take you back to 1992, and Baby Duke is 16 at the time. We were playing the 40s in football at Audubon Junior High School. 40s, 4-6s, I believe the 4-8s. So you got all these 40s playing against the 60s. And actually, I think they won the game that day.
Y'all got the touchdown taken away from you.
But some way, somehow, the homie Baby Duke had an altercation with somebody. I believe he was one of the homies. I believe he was from the hood or wanna be from the hood. I don't particularly remember who that was or if he ever became from 60s. So we're gonna leave that part out of his story and just get to it. Him and Baby Duke got down. With all the people around the football field, it reminded me of a yard in the penitentiary. In fact, there was a movie called Penitentiary, and Lil Duke was like too sweet. We all crowded around and surrounded him like it was Leon Isaac Kennedy and Half-Dead Johnson. Baby Duke was standing tall on his 10 toes. His posture was great, and they got to slugging him. He swing, he swing, he swing, he swing, uppercut, uppercut, and boom! Baby Duke landed a right, hit him right here in the mouth. Knocked his whole motherfucking tooth out. I'm talking about the whole tooth, not a broken tooth. The whole tooth, the root, everything just came out of his mouth. And you could hear a little roar like a crowd at a soccer game. Man, now, I never seen nothing like that. I've never heard no story like that before, but this is a true story. So welcome to kevmacvideos live streams and this episode of True Stories. What's up, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of kevmacvideos True Stories. Welcome to another episode of Another One Bites the Dust. Welcome to another episode of Another One Bites the Dust. Welcome to another episode. Welcome to another episode of kevmacvideos True Stories. Big Slip Rock and Baby Duke stayed in the same part of the hood at this time. Baby Duke had just turned 16. This is at the top of 1992. Baby Duke, as young as he was, hung out with the original Tiny Lokes. He hung out with some G's from the hood. And we go out to a concert in Hollywood. And I believe Baby Duke rode with Slip Rock. So we get there and Slip Rock got money. I think we all had money that night. But for whatever reason, the 60s do not like to pay to get in anywhere. If you catch some 60s paying to get in somewhere, there are probably some players or top-notch high security there. And I don't mean regular security, I'm talking about LAPD. So we bum rush the door, we get in for free. We up in there chilling. And we get into a squad, we get into a full-fledged gang rumble. We rumbling with a rival gang. And Baby Duke is staying down. And it's not like I had time to watch him, because I'm getting down, we all getting down. Everybody got down. But when it was time to go, Baby Duke was standing just as tall as the rest of us. It's so funny because to this day, I still think about that incident. Like, how was this youngster, this 16-year-old youngster, this little bruiser, this hand guy, hanging with old men, old grown men, full-fledged gangbangers, and handling his business? So I always think about that. So when y'all talk about hand guys, people that can fight and all that, sometimes we can't leave out the youngsters. We can't just think of the originals, the older dudes, right? Because some dudes didn't live as long as others. So they didn't get to that stage where they all big, humongous, and name is all over the city, right? But he was good in our hood. His name was top notch. He was a rider, and he was well accepted and loved in the hood, and he had hands. Baby Duke and his generation are like throwback Crips. They're like the last Crips to really sport blue rags, like Ain't Your Mama style, in the back pocket, carrying it in their hand. You know, the whole aura of the 1970, 1980 Crips. And on top of that, he loved to fight. He loved to get down like they did supposedly in the 70s and early 80s. What's even more amazing to me is he wasn't really fighting dudes his age like that, because it was like he was a man amongst his peers when he was 15 and 16 years old. And I say this all in a good way, because after Baby Duke, after that era, after his generation, dudes started to wear a different type of clothes and act a certain type of way. Whereas Baby Duke was still like that mid 80s type Crip, went to all the games representing, you know, always around grown men. And so I want to give a shout out to Baby Duke, rest in peace, and to all the youngsters that's solid, don't think gun first, know how to have some type of conflict resolution. And my message today is, quit trying to give all the glory to these old dudes that messed up the term OG. Quit giving all the glory to the guys that set bad examples for me and people that came after me. Quit giving all the glory to the guys that became nothing in life but broke, drug addicts, homosexuals, rapists, career criminals. Let's pay homage and give a little shout out to the youngsters that came up right and handled themselves in an upstanding way. Shout out to all the youngsters that grew up in the fighting era. Shout out to all the youngsters that went through the Thunderdome and really learned how to fight out there in them streets. Today's lesson is, be careful who you run up on, because you just might get what you was looking for. May Baby Duke, aka Lil Bruiser, BKA Brian Buchanan, rest in peace. And that's going to do it for this episode of KM True Stories. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to leave a comment, especially if you're a youngster with hands. Or if you know some youngsters that are no longer with us today and they had hands, leave a name in the comment section. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. I thank you all for watching. We got more stories coming up. Too Pretty Kenny. After the weekend, salute and peace.
Sitting reminiscing about the